What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So hopefully you guys have seen the Sugo Fest video that I uploaded either a couple days ago or yesterday, depending on when I upload this video, where we did a little bit of extra pulls on the banner, and we were lucky enough to get our hands on one of the brand new Sugo Fest exclusives, one being Hiyori, and the other one that we did getting ULTI. Now, in this video, we're of course just going to be doing a showcase video as we use her in some content. So let's go ahead and just give the quick rundown and give my thoughts and opinions, and then I'll give my, final opinions on just everything about this character in general. So ULTI is a strength powerhouse fighter character, and she is a superclass powerhouse unit. Surprise, surprise. That's obviously one of the biggest downsides to the unit, is that the character is not very special in the fact that, we have a lot of super powerhouse characters, so that is a little bit of a shame. I think it would have been nice if fighters had a little bit more representation, but either way, let's go ahead and break her down. So her captain ability gives actually -1 cooldown at the start of the quest, which is really nice. It also reduces 10 turns of despair, so innate utility within captain abilities, always valuable to have. And then also boost the attack of the two classes that she is, of Powerhouse and Fighter, by 5x, and then giving them a 1.5 times health boost. And then she says, if there are any marked enemies, which of course you can mark the enemies via her superclass special, then the attack boost, instead of being 5 times, will be buffed to 5.25. So it's not really that much of an increase. I mean, that final sentence is kind of whatever, but one of the really cool things about the unit is the fact that you have such a significant HP boost of 1.5, and you have the inbuilt ability to reduce despair in the captain effect, meaning that you're always going to be able to maintain that bulk, because that's one of the big problems with characters that have a lot of HP, is that whenever you're despaired, you just lose all of that health. Whereas this character, it really just doesn't matter, because if you're despaired, you're just going to be able to resist it, which is great. It's one of the big, one of the big benefits of this character, I would say, as a captain. Saying that though, is that if you are using this character as a captain, every time I was using this character as the captain, I was just saying to myself, man, I wish I was using superclass Kaido instead, because he's just so much better. Because one of the big problems with this unit is this character does not have any slot manipulation, so you have to rely on other special abilities or other effects to kind of get you the slots that you need. But then of course, if you are using her as the captain, you get access to her really interesting superclass special. Now I guess this is kind of a downside as well, is that in order to activate the superclass special, it does rely on you having certain characters in your crew, rather than activating some type of condition or meeting a condition in the middle of the quest. But it's Kaido, King, Queen, Jack, Page 1, Black Maria, Who's Who, and Sasaki. Unfortunately, X Drake does not actually count for this, which would have been a huge benefit, because you could use, Legend X Drake alongside this character to proc that effect. And unfortunately, that is not the case. You are not allowed to use them together to proc the superclass special, which is a bit unfortunate. But the effect itself is interesting because it applies the marked status on an enemy that has, or just on enemies that have 10 million or more HP when you launch this effect, which is kind of cool. But the thing is that there are some instances where you need to use it, and there is just no enemy with 10 million or more HP. Like some of the GARP challenges, for example, that I was having a look at. Like, hardly any of the enemies actually have 10 million HP or more. That actually sucks. If you're up against arenas, you can still definitely use it on like a mini boss on like stage 4, and you can use it on stage 5 as well. But one of the cool things about the marked enemy status is that these effects actually go through immunity buffs. They're not classified as regular conditional boosts. Marking an enemy is not a debuff that you're inflicting to an enemy, which is a huge benefit, because it means that you're able to activate this all the time. So long as the enemy has, 10 million HP or more, you can activate this ability and get the conditional boost, which she also provides with her superclass special of 1.75 all the time. So that is the big, upside to the effect, is you can always get it to activate, but it does rely on the enemy's HP being at that certain threshold. But then you have that effect, and it also increases the duration of base attack boosts by 1 turn, which I think is also kind of stupid, because the fact that the base attack boost that she provides only lasts for 1 turn. So it means that, her superclass effect of extending it by 1 turn means that it'll only last from 1 turn to 2 turns. So if you go through multiple different stages, you can't carry it over. So I wish that her special ability was for 2 turns so that you could extend it to 3, or that the extension through the superclass special was for 2 extension turns. I think that would have been a really, really nice touch to this unit. And then, of course, we can talk about her special ability, which reduces special bind and attack down by 7, which is pretty good utility. And then boosting powerhouse and fighter characters' chain multiply growth rate by a variable factor depending on, you know, the tap timing of the character. Very similar to Super Tandem Law, Super Tandem Kid for those 2 classes. And this character does it for powerhouse and fighter. This effect is great, and it stacks really well with like a Legend Drake, for example, with chain boundary. And then you can have chain boosting effects like Who's Who. Like the amount of chain effects you have, like strength powerhouse teams with these types of chain effects are going to be absolutely brutal. So you have the really cool chain effect, you have utility, and also giving powerhouse and fighter characters a 1250 base attack boost for 1 turn. Really wish that base attack boost was for 2 turns instead, as I said, or just make the superclass special extended by 2 turns. But 1250 is a really good boost. I think Legend Bond Clay is a 1500 boost for 2 turns, so his base attack boost is still better, which is fair enough considering that's kind of like the only thing he really does to give your team a bit of a boost. And the thing about Bon Clay is, you know, he could actually use him on an ulti team as well because he's a fighter character, so that's a little neat thing you can do. But obviously, one of the big things about ulti and the way I was kind of, you know, found out using this character is that this character is just, you know, straight up going to be better as a sub. Because remember, if you are using this character as a captain, you don't get access to her crewmate abilities, one of them being to completely evade special bind so that you can use her special to remove special bind. But, you know, anytime you're inflicted with significant special bind and you have to deal with attack down as well, and there is like a lot of instances in arenas where you'll be dealt special bind and attack down in the same turn, and you can have this special ability to remove that for you, and so this character is going to be really good as a crewmate. But one of the big things that's kind of a downside to that is that with her potential ability, she doesn't have fear resistance, which I think would have been a perfect addition to this character, would have worked perfectly considering she is definitely better as a crewmate compared to a captain, and that special ability providing really strong utility. But the fact is if you're inflicted with the, you know, the fear, you're not able to get rid of the special bind if it's inflicted to this character when she's a crewmate. So again, a little bit of a design decision that I don't really agree with. And also, as we said a little bit earlier, with the base attack not lasting for 3 turns. So if they made some slight changes, I think this character definitely could have seen way more play than what she will see, honestly, in the future. I think this character is still okay, but I think that with some slight changes, this character would have been even better than what she already is. I'm not saying this character's bad, because this character is still pretty strong and synergizes well with the previous Toby Ropo legends that we have received, as well as the 8th anniversary hybrid Kaido character, and also those rare recruits that came alongside that batch of characters too. So I think Ulti is a very solid legend, but she's definitely not one of those legends that's going to be the end-all be-all, the #1 unit to clear content with. But obviously she has some neat tricks, she has really good utility, and she has that really interesting superclass special that can guarantee you a conditional boost because it doesn't inflict a debuff to the enemy, as we said. So sometimes you can just get a free 1.75 times damage boost against an enemy, so long as they have 10 million HP or more, which sometimes may be a little bit of an issue to get, but still, if you plan your team out correctly, you should be able to get that to activate when you need it. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.